and to take care of yourself. And so many women that I talk to, and myself included, get to this point and they're like, I just don't even know what to do. I can't even do anything. I had one lady say, what did she say? Like, I used to be able, I birthed 6 kids and homeschooled them all, and now I can't even mop the floor. Hello, friends, and welcome to the Honeycast. I am Chris Honeycutt, and I'm here today to talk to you about all things midlife, menopausal, perimenopausal, exercise, hormones, mindset, all kinds of things. And one of the things I wanted to talk about today, and I don't have notes and I don't even have a roadmap for this conversation, but I just wanted to come and be very candid and very transparent with some of the people that I talk to and share with you where they are, because I think a lot of you feel the same way. And I even have felt the same way at times. And really what I want to talk about is the change that happens in our life as we age, the circumstances that happen in our life as we age, such as taking care of sick parents, losing our parents, becoming grandparents. Maybe some of us, like me, I still have teenagers. I'm 56. And I still have very young teenagers, 12 and 14. I've already gone through 7 other teenagers. I think that's why my hair's gray. But when you get into the menopausal years, things change. The way that we think, the way that we feel, and our brain actually changes as well. And that contributes to psychological changes, that contributes to emotional and physical changes. And a lot of times we're so used to just giving and caretaking and not really prioritizing ourselves very much, because whatever we're thinking, whether we don't have time or we can, or there's too much going on, but we end up in the season where, and I've talked to so many people, ladies like this, that they get to the point where they are just burnt out. They're burnt out and they are feeling confused and have brain fog. And so there's the physical things going on. There's the circumstances that are going on. There's even emotional things going on. There's capacity levels that change. That is one of the things that I see is I would call her super broad. That's what I would call myself. And what I mean by that is I would just power through anything. I would power through being exhausted to nurse my babies and homeschool my kids and take care of everybody and other people and make meals and bake meals for other people and be there for everybody. And I would call her super broad until super broad came to a quick halt when I developed adrenal fatigue and all kinds of other physical issues that just basically stopped me in my tracks when I was in my late 30s. Then I hit menopause, and then things actually got better for a little bit, but then things got worse. And part of, I guess, what I want to talk about today is the resiliency that we used to have. We just don't have that resiliency anymore, but we do have resiliency. It's a different form. It's a different kind. And I think it's hard, what I hear and what I felt too, it's hard to not be able to just pull yourself up by your bootstraps and just go and just do it and just create momentum. You actually get to a place. And part of this is the lack of hormones, and it is the aging process. And even our brain changing contributes to this. But you get to a point where you just can't do what you used to do. And you're not used to setting boundaries and saying, no, I can't do this. And yes to yourself, because we really don't usually do that early on. I didn't learn how to set healthy boundaries until I was so wigged out and tired and burnt out and whatever, and crying, having breakdowns once a week and whatever, until I started realizing, wow, I can't operate like this anymore. I've got to take care of me. And for some crazy reason, I just thought it was somebody else's job to take care of me, my husband's job, my whoever. And to a certain degree, absolutely, we take care of each other. But it was my job to, first of all, become aware of when I need to say no and when I need to say yes, what I need to do, and then provide that for myself. I am so capable of providing what I need, but I had to have permission. I don't know why I had to have permission, but I had to give myself permission to do that. And it actually took me getting to the bottom sometimes before I realized, wow, I can't do that anymore. And so I was just on a conversation with the coaching call, and it was a dear, lovely client of mine who is in her 60s. And she basically had her in-laws to take care of for a couple years. They passed away. It was a very difficult season. It was hard to stay on plan. Now she's got a potential mother-in-law or a family member moving in so that they can take care of her. And she brings some challenges with the different things that she's into, different food, some needs that are going to require a lot of output. There's also the desire to have energy and to have fun with the grandkids and to be available for her church and for her husband. And there's just so many things going on where in the past, you'd be able to kind of press through and get through it and show up. And when we hit this midlife season, we just can't anymore. And it's hard to begin prioritizing yourself, not at the expense of other people. So many people say, well, I feel like staying healthy and becoming healthy is a full-time job. And I have to say, sometimes it is, depending on where we're coming from. But the more health that we create in our life, the easier it gets and the less of a full-time job it becomes. But if we have set our health to the side for years and years and years, and we're like, I'm going to deal with this later, there's going to be a little backlash with that. And there's going to be a season where, yeah, it's going to take some time to prioritize yourself and to take care of yourself. And so many women that I talk to, and myself included, get to this point and they're like, I just don't even know what to do. I can't even do anything. I had one lady say, what did she say? Like, I used to be able, I've birthed 6 kids and homeschooled them all, and now I can't even mop the floor. I'm like, I would say in your midlife season and even postmenopausal, this is a very normal thing that I hear. There is a transition going on in our brains, ladies. Our brains become a whole new brain. There is a transition going on in our body when our hormones walk out the door. They give us so much mental and emotional and physical support that we're not even aware of. And even being on hormone replacement therapy, that has helped tons. That has helped me tons. I have walked out of brain fog. I have been able to build muscle. I'm still working on my sleep. I'm feeling better. I have less joint pain and aches. My quality of life has gone up, but yet I still can't get to that resiliency that I had in my 40s. And so it's just realizing that things do need to change. And you might feel confused. You might not be able to take action, but there are some tools that you can use to walk yourself into the next season or just even the next step. And this is what I do. This is how I coach people is I listen to them. They are giving me the answers. I can talk to you and I will hear what you say, what was working for you or what the answers were. And then I just repeat back to you, hey, this might be the next step for you. So this particular woman that I talked to, and a lot of times too, we're emotional. Like I'm thinking of 5 women that I've talked to over the last month in this exact same place. Some with different circumstances. This one woman has 11 children and lots and grandkids and lots of responsibilities. Another one, I mean, we're all kind of across the board, but this is something that we all go through and you can use it for your advantage. You can use it to start something today that is going to support yourself and that is going to help you sort of climb out of this pit, so to speak. And that is to realize this is a transition that I'm in, or this is a season that I'm in. And it is okay that I don't feel like I can do everything that I used to do. And also look in your life and see what do you need and want to say yes to, and what can you say no to? It's called boundary setting. I've had to do this, and I will tell you, at first, it was hard because I wanted to do everything and all the things, but I just could not. And so I would have to say, hey, no, I can't go to this prayer meeting or this dinner, on Saturday once a month at 5. I can't do it right now. I want to, but my body is needing some rest, or I'm just needing to say no to some things right now while I recover or while I rest or while I sort of get my feet underneath me. Saying no, even to my children sometimes when they are asking a favor or need something. Now, if it's a dire need, of course, I'm going to meet their needs. But sometimes just like, no, I can't go out and take you there today. I really need to stay here and do this. Or to my husband, no, I can't go on this trip. I don't have the energy. And I manage a lot of things with my energy levels. And honestly, my energy levels have been up and down over the last several years. Part of that has been health issues. Part of that has been hormones. And part of that is just not being able to sleep very well. And so sometimes I've had to even cancel things that I said yes to. And I don't love doing that, but I have to regard my energy levels because I got to the point that I was doing all the things and I literally just crashed and burned. My body was saying, no, we can't do this. We can't do this anymore. And it was talking to me and I wasn't listening to it. Our bodies are talking to us, and it is okay to regard your body and what you need. It is more than okay. It's necessary. The goal, and this is what I was talking to my client friend, and she said, I want my last 20 years to be my best and my strongest. I want to play with my grandkids. I want to show up for myself, and me too. And so that is going to require learning to prioritize our health in a way so that we can sustain good habits. We can regard ourselves, but we can also regard others. Some of the things that I started doing was I started planning overnights away from myself. I love being with people. I have 9 kids. There's 3 adults. It was 9 kids and 3 adults in my household for a lot of years, always together, homeschooling. And it's transitioned somewhat now. Now I have, how many kids? 4 kids at home, and there's still 3 adults in the household. It's still lots of activity. And I really need alone time. It's very important to me. And for years and years and years, I didn't give myself that really. And I didn't really know how to create it. And I got to the point where I was like, I'm scheduling myself every quarter a weekend away for me. Then I started planning business weekends away so that I could build my business. Sometimes when I get to the point where I really feel like, I need to get recentered, I will plan an overnighter and I will go and I will take care of myself. That's one way that I take care of myself. Another way is that I set up, what do I need for me today? And it doesn't take all day long. I need a walk. I need quiet time. I need some rest. I need to connect with people. And so I make time to do that. I need some healthy food. I need to nourish my body. I keep it simple, but I am looking at how can I build myself up? And it's not so that it's really only so I can serve better. So this is sort of a rabbit trail type podcast, but I just want to say to the women that are just feeling that feeling of just being so overwhelmed and confused that you don't even know the next step to take and you feel like you're going crazy and there's so many things looming and so many plates that are spinning, and then you might not even be sleeping well or feeling all the way well, and maybe you're not able to figure out what you need to eat or be consistent with your exercise because you're just kind of all over the place. I see you, and I want to say this is a good time to start prioritizing yourself and look for some baby steps to plug in. What are the top 2 things that you need to be working on right now? Maybe you can't work on 10 things. I can't. Where are areas in your life where you can create a space of beauty or rest for yourself? Where are the areas of your life that are dragging you down or sucking the life out of you? What can you do? Sometimes we can't get out of those situations, right? But sometimes we can. And sometimes we can set very healthy boundaries, even with the suck the life out of you situations. So I just really want this to be an encouragement that you're not going crazy and that I see you and that this happens to so many women, and we don't have to stay there stuck and feeling alone and not knowing what to do next. There is grace in this moment for you to find the next thing to do to take care of you, to transform your midlife self. This is a new time. This is a time where we can take on sort of a new identity in a way that we're always growing, we're always transforming, we're always becoming our better self. We can let this help us create our better self. So hopefully this was encouraging to you. It was just on my heart because I have literally talked to 5 women in the last month saying this very same thing. And I too remember being there, and it's hard. It's hard. And especially it's not talked about. We don't have good role models with this, or at least I didn't. We kind of feel like something's wrong with us. Sometimes we even go to the doctor and they're like, oh, it's just menopause here. Let's just take an antidepressant. And it's really more going on. And there's more that we can do about it as well. Most midlife women don't struggle because they're lazy or unmotivated. They're just missing the right framework. Here's what works. eating to support your hormones, and finally turning on fat burning, smart movement like whole body vibration plate and strength training, tackling stress and sleep for a total reset. The 90-day Midlife Reset Challenge is launching in January, and I will walk you through all 3 pillars step by step. See you there.